Hi, Nina. Welcome back. Sitting at the table with me. I hope everything went okay today with your surgery. I know you're going through a lot right now with your physical, mental, and spiritual health, as we all are, but it seems to be, hitting pretty hard in the physical realm. Again, with your astrological makeup, with the Gemini Sun and the Libra and Virgo aspects. I mean, Virgo is Queen of Pentacles. She is the earth harvest goddess. We talked about the independent or self-made woman in Virgo. And it is that sixth house on your astrological birth chart is the house of Virgo, the sixth house of work, but also of service and also of physical health, not just mental and spiritual, but actual in the body physical health. Virgo rules, the nervous system, the stomach, the spine, the entire physical manifestation, in the harvest goddess in Virgo. So I could see how you might be struggling with some of these aspects right now, plus the Chiron and Aries, the wounded healer with the friendships and, the death and rebirth and starting over with the cycles, because your Chiron and Aries is in the eighth house of Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, who is the death god, right? So lots of change, lots of death in the sense of you have to let things go, you have to start fresh and build anew, from the ground up, from the ashes, from the composted old sloughed off flesh. Then comes the new sprout, the new feelings, the new events, the new energies. And so with your Chiron and Aries in the eighth house of death and rebirth, I could see how you're going through a lot of that with your friendships and your financial areas of work, all the things. And so we're going to ask the cards today about some of these aspects. Also stay kind of general and see what comes up for you right now. I picked some fresh flowers for our goddess Idun back here. She is the goddess of immortal life, sister to Freya. She is a Norse goddess of immortality, of renewal, of spring, of health, good health. Her apples bring vitality. So I thought having her at the table with us would help a little bit with your surgery and going forward and getting healthier and stronger. And so without further ado, we'll get started. Just one final word on the grain or harvest goddess, your Virgo ascending, what you're ascending into, the energy you're moving towards in this lifetime. As you get older, you'll be rising as a Virgo, as the independent woman, as the self-made autonomous being that Virgo is, but also you will be taking more control over your physical realm with that sixth house Virgo. So as you ascend into your rising sign of Virgo, you will be able to have more self-control when it comes to your physical modalities, whether it's the food you eat, the nutrition, the exercise, the yoga, the meditation, whatever it is, the stretching, the physical therapy. You'll start to gain more self-control as you rise into that Virgo ascendant. But you have to be careful of the overthinking, be careful of being scattered, because Virgo is a Mercury ruled sign. So let's go ahead and do our silver witch's bell to set the space and clear the circle. Excellent. We have some white mountain sage in the cauldron, so everything's been smudged. The card decks have already previously been shuffled. And so I'm doing things a little bit different. I'm going to start out with two cards from the Carnival at the End of the World here. Two cards from that deck to sort of approach two questions right now in your life and to start out our reading. And those would be your surroundings or your environment, what's going on around you, and also what the situation expects from you. I chose this bright, lovely orange calcite that kind of looks like a slice of tangerine on a summer's day for you to kind of brighten up, the moment and look into orange calcite. It'll bring you that Aries season, Aries new moon vitality of starting over, being brave and pushing forward, right? We have all the energy of the sun with Aries or Emperor. So So that's a beautiful stone to have. Put it over here. And we're going to start out with these two questions. Let's do the environment. Oops. Well, those are too many cards, so we're going to keep going. Let's do the environment, and then we'll do what it expects of you. These are like just two different energies to begin the read. I'm going to go ahead and do our 5-card spread as normal afterwards. Okay. So let's do your surroundings or your environment right now. Now this looks like a 3 of Cups to me, but this does not look like your average celebratory happy 3 ladies with the wine glass in the air in the forest. This looks decidedly different. And normally this is a Mercury in Cancer, right? This is expressing joy, expressing connection with people you trust. Celebratory. In the traditional tarot, it is the 3 women with the goblet held high. They're sort of dancing around the full moon. It looks like maybe a Beltane fire ceremony, or, you know, Girls Gone Wild, or like a night out, right? The 3 of Cups is kind of a notorious card traditionally. And this one is quite different. I mean, you can see here that there's sort of like a honey or an amber liquid dripping off this creature. And he has a plague mask, or he has a sort of a hooded mask on, and his cups are dripping, right? And his cups are spilled down below. So what's going on around you, this is what this card is denoting at the moment, is it's a very different, atypical 3 of Cups, right? The cups are spilled. So you remember that old cliche or that old saying, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, right? You know, and everyone deserves a place at the table, even that, you know, the more aggressive people, or the risky, edgy type people, the sour-faced loners, let's say, the wearisome worrier types, right? Everybody deserves a place at the table. Everybody deserves a glass, right? Where all of your worries can kind of be, all your troubles can be left behind, right? Have a seat at the bar. Enjoy yourself. Drink of the wine of life, right? Everybody deserves that. And that way everybody is happy. But, you know, for friends and support around you, and prosperity to flow freely, and the hospitality to be given, you know, like your Libra moon would enjoy, back and forth, reciprocal nature of hospitality flowing freely, you know, for your wealth and generosity to be put out there, but yet to be filled like it's sort of spilled onto the ground, and maybe not being drunk. So what you expressed in your message about your friend kind of turning on you and treating you a certain way. Also, you have a family living with you who's not working yet. They're not giving back yet. There's not a celebratory feeling. Your husband's back at work. You're struggling with work and with your children, and the balance is all out of whack, plus your physical problems and needs. So this 3 of Cups is going on around you. It should be going on around you, right? There should be it should be celebratory. It's spring, summer is coming, the pandemic is lightening up, you know, everybody's getting back to work, right? Hopefully money will start coming in and ease our burdens a little bit. But with the medical bills and stuff, I could understand how you would feel that your honey is kind of spilt and not being drunk or not being reciprocated. You know, your friendships aren't what they once were. Things are different. Whereas before, maybe you'd all be drinking of the honey of the cup. Now you feel sort of alone with your spilt sweetness. You know, you're spilt, like you're trying to help. You're trying to give back to friends, families, loved ones, to yourself. And it feels like spilled honey. You know, so this is going on around you. And it makes sense. I mean, the pandemic really changed a lot of relationships for people. It changed how they feel about their significant others. It changed how they felt about themselves, about their bosses, about the government, everything, our neighbors. So there's a lot of spilled honey and not enough drinking at the table together, right? There's a lot of kind of dissension around us right now. So that's kind of what's going on around you. Not your typical 3 of Cups, but when things come back into alignment, doing all the work, of course, and regarding the things coming up in this reading, that Three of Cups will come again. That joy and friendship and connection will be expressed again. So let's do bottom of the deck for what these situations expect from you. Aha! Wheel of Fortune. Now, isn't that something? That seems sort of perfect, right? The Wheel of Fortune, and traditionally it's that wheel, right? With the 4 fixed signs in the corners of the card. So the wheel represents your core, right? Your core being strong enough to persevere and to roll with the punches and the turns of the wheels and all the different cycles and the changes. And the 4 fixed signs are kind of like set, right? You've got a set core of strength that no matter how many times the wheel turns over, you still have that sense of purpose, that sense of self-love, that sense of worthiness in your inner being. You feel like you're capable of anything at the heart of it all, at the eye of the storm, right? And so the Wheel of Fortune, obviously it's Jupiter ruled, so that means maybe things are turning. If things are at a very, very long, dark night of the soul and feeling very low, then perhaps the wheel is going to turn and things are going to lighten up and things are going to become more abundant and the blessings roll in, right? But yet when we're on the top of the wheel, then again, something else happens and we're down below. So it's the ebb and flow of life, the give and take, of course. But so this is what is expected from you from these situations, is being able to have a strong sense of self, to have a strong core, and to roll with the punches and see where the wheel takes you, where Jupiter expands your luck and creativity, and prepare for life's up and down, ups and downs. So I think that's quite beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune is expected of you, and the Three of Cups sort of gone awry, or the spilled cups around you. And so with those two energies starting out our reading, we're going to go ahead and use the Modern Spellcasters for the heart of the reading for those 5 cards. We're going to see what's been going on in the past, present, here and now, behind the scenes, and our future. According to, right here and now. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our first position, which is the near past. Things that are going on leading up to the present moment. The moon. Not surprising, right? It was Pisces season, February, March, early March. Lots of planets were in Pisces. Jupiter was in Pisces. Neptune was in Pisces. Mercury was in Pisces. So everything was being expressed through that filter of illusion, daydream, vision, clairvoyance, the psychic action of it all. And so for the moon to represent the near past, it means a lot of hidden things were coming to light. Like I said before, the pandemic has exposed a lot of different ways that people react to crisis, to interpersonal relationships, to business relationships, and it has exposed a lot of things that we never knew were lying underneath, the underbelly, the dark underbelly of our culture, of our loved ones, of everything. And so that is usually what this primordial sea, with the crustacean rising out of it. It looks like Scorpio or Cancer, like a crustacean coming from the primordial waters. The 2 towers with the moon above, the full moon. And then we have the wild wolf, which is our instinct, right? Our primal selves. And the dog, who is like our domesticated, controlled sort of outer persona, our inner wild and our outer domesticated self. And to find the balance between those two, between the towers and the path underneath the full moon, like we walk the path, right? Of the craft, of self-knowledge, the journey of the seeker, seeking knowledge and wisdom and attainment and illumination. So the moon will bring up a lot of psychic hunches, a lot of inclinations and visions and dreams and just feelings about people. Like you don't know why you know it, but you know it. That's how that person is. That's what, like, even if the person doesn't say it, you kind of know what they're about. because you're having this heightened psychic awareness and these hidden truths, these secrets, long-term secrets being exposed under the lunar, the bright full moon lunar light. So coming from that, and also, 12th house Pisces or any Piscean ruled card like the moon has to do with hospitals. It has to do with incarceration. It has to do with drug use. It has to do with escapism, medicating, self-medicating. So, this is where you're coming from. You've been going through a lot. You've been trying to kind of clean up your life, trying to reconnect with your husband, reconnect with your body, with your soul, with your children. There's a lot of inner turmoil and shadow work and all the things, right? Getting out of the hospitals, getting out of the prisons, getting out of the drug use, all the things, the vices with the moon that come up. And this is the near past. So now we're going to move on to the present. And that card would be Five of Cups. Would you look at that? I mean, that's kind of what's going on, isn't it? We've got a moon in Cancer here. So again, more water. We had Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio with the moon. We had the Three of Cups, Mercury in Cancer back there. We have the the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, wanting to expand, but having to ride the wheel of life, the roller coaster of life, up and down and up and down, and be prepared for it at the Wheel of Fortune, and sometimes feeling a little bit betrayed that the honey that one offers in one's cup is sort of spilt and not reciprocated. And, you have so much to give with your Libra, that Empress, the Justice, the Peacekeeper, the People Pleaser, that Libra moon, your Virgo rising, also a people pleaser. You just want to do good work. You just want to do good things, And at the Five of Cups, now you may know, the Three Cups are spilled upon the ground. A lot of things have happened. A lot of disappointment. This is the Lord of Disappointment. A lot of things didn't turn out the way you wanted. Emotionally, emotional relationships, especially. And just, your happiness, your dreams. Again, coming out of the shadow of the pandemic, we have the moon back here, the hidden secrets coming to light. All of us are kind of feeling this. The war that's going on, the government, everything, the misinformation, all of it. And then also just on the ground level with our friends, people turning into different things that we never thought they would. Relationships changing, the world changing, all of it. So we have that melancholy, that disappointment, that grief, that sorrow right now. Reflecting upon it. This is the here and now. Coming from the moon into the Five of Cups. But of course, there's this lovely waterfall, these beautiful verdant green lands back here. This flowing water is healing and change and movement, right? Emotional support, love, grace. So even though there's a spilled blood, the spilled milk, the spilled cups here, things have happened. I'm disappointed. I'm sad. This sucks, right? Five of Cups. Still, there are two raised goblets. There are two blessings. There are two blessings for this person to drink from. Drink of your own honey, right? Make yourself happy. Damn the torpedoes. Do for yourself. Shine your inner light, that Virgo, independent, self-made woman. We've talked about this in previous readings. You're rising into that. Your rising sign. Don't overthink it with that Gemini sun. You have a lot of honey to give. It shouldn't be spilt upon the ground like this. It should be given back to the self. You drink of your own cups. Your blessings await you. You still have two full cups here. We're going to clarify these, but we're going to move on. And also I will send you pictures so you can zoom in and see the images. They're quite beautiful. So our third card in the series is going to be going on behind the scenes, something that you need to be made aware of, that you need to incorporate into all of this situation. And also, it's just called the unconscious sky, what's going on behind the scenes. Wow. Wow. We look at the power and the glory in this Queen of Swords. We just talked about your Libra moon, your Gemini sun, right? Air signs. Queen of Air. So this is an experienced warrior-esque, right? Akin to Athena, to the Lady Justice. Again, we talked about your Libra moon, the sword on the throne, right? Ready to cut through all the lies, all the bullshit, all the illusion, to cut the fat, the wheat from the chaff, to get to the real deal, get to the story, the real story, right? Cut away all the BS fluff. Discernment, judgment, unwavering, cutting people out, cutting out lies, cutting out what doesn't serve. Queen of Swords is a badass. She's a shield maiden. She's like Boudica. She's like Athena, the Morrigan. She's like any Hel, maybe even. She's like any warrioress that knows how to wield the sword of truth in her own life, right? There is power and confidence and mental agility here. She knows what she needs, and she knows that she doesn't need a lot of BS. I mean, the power, right? The power that comes with wielding a sword. As a shield maiden, as an Amazon, well, they used arrows, but it takes skill, it takes training, it takes confidence and belief in yourself. You're going to drop your sword, you're going to lose battles, you're going to try and try again, right? That's what training is for. So swords being the mind, you train your mind to search for truth, to cut through the fat, to get rid of things that are hanging on that do not serve, get to the heart of the matter. So behind it all is this Excalibur, this sword of truth, just waiting for you to grab it, to triumph over your adversities, to cut through and create and strategize mental clarity and ability in your life. I just find this version of the Queen of Swords gorgeous. This is definitely Libra, this is definitely Gemini, this is definitely aligning your heart and your core, your sun and your moon, because ruled by Mercury, that's air, even though Virgo is an earth sign. Utilizing this, reserved, tenacious, determined clarity of the mind, to be strong, to be confident in one's life, right? Queen of Swords. Maintaining authority, autonomy. We talked about the Virgo being that self-made person. This is an intelligent, capable queen. They may seem distanced from things at times. They may seem like they're suffering in silence, but really they're thinking, they're strategizing about how to clean up and cut through lies and just the fluff, cutting through to what matters, right? To achieve grander, more grandiose goals. This is the mask cutter, they call her. She will cut through to see the truth underneath it all. Love that. We'll talk more about the Queen of Swords, and we'll get a companion card or a clarification card for her to talk more about it. So now we're going to do our fourth card, which is the advice. Three of Swords. There we go. There's all the stuff, the betrayal feelings you may have going on with friends. Maybe the job isn't what you expected. I mean, the Three of Swords is dashed expectations, right? And then we have the Five of Cups, which is disappointment, grief, loss, sorrow. So the Three of Swords does feel that sting, right? That sting of there was two, now there's three. And the third sword is just, the nail in the coffin. It's that ouch. There may be betrayal of words, actions, friendships, relationships of any kind. But, this is a mental heartbreak. It's not physical. You have that strong core at the Wheel of Fortune. You have Queen of Swords here. You have vision and clairvoyance and dreams here with the moon, where you're coming from, exposing secrets. The thing about the truth is that it's ultimately the best thing in our lives. The truth sets us free. So whatever is falling away from you right now with this Queen of Swords in the background, underneath it all, behind the scenes. You know, whatever is falling away, we truly have to let those things just go, right? Especially when we've been hurt by the Three of Swords. And we're grieving the Five of Swords, right? We're trying to recoup. We're trying to still see the blessings that we do have. And, you know, the Three of Swords, now this is quite beautiful because I love that there's this flame here underneath it all. So your heart may feel on fire lately. Your mind may be reeling because it's mental heartbreak. It's swords. With all the things that are going on. All the ways and scenarios that have turned out to be hurtful. But there's this ray, this beautiful ray of light here, right? This bright orange fire, vibrant sun almost, underneath the heart. A heart on fire. Then we have the Trinity, the Celtic knot. You know, mind, body, spirit. So through the slings and arrows of the people that betray us, or the emotions, the hurt, the backstabbing, whatever it may feel like to us, we truly grow. We truly are a heart on fire. We truly become passionate about the relationships that do work, about the people that do reciprocate the honey, the people that do meet us at the table, right? So it forges loyalty, and it makes your heart stronger and feel even more visceral about the good things in life after going through this Three of Swords. Now this is advice though, so let's take that into consideration. Of course, this can be quarrels between loved ones, can be accidents, you know, could be sadness, troubled mind, you know, having an emotional breakdown, the pain that the memory can bring. Why isn't it like it used to be? You know, and depression even. These things require attention, you know. So in the advice, it's like, remember that your heart is being set on fire, right? We're burning away the lies. We're burning away the untruths. We're burning away the things that don't serve. And we're becoming stronger. That Trinity, that Celtic knot, you know, Mother, Maiden, Crone, all of it in the middle, in the core of your heart. You know, so there's grief and there's emotional trauma, there's mental trauma, all the things we're all going through right now. The unexpected sadness that may come over us, right? But we can heal, we can move forward, we can set our path on fire, we can rise like a phoenix from the flames, right? Potential heartache can bring more intimate relationships in the future. You learn and you adjust. So I love that for advice. You know, learn from it, grow stronger, and really treasure the things that do connect with your heart in future, because it's not always going to be this way. So we'll get back to that, we'll clarify. And so our final card in our 5-card spread will be the future outcome, and that will be bottom of the deck. Oops. More swords with your Gemini and Libra and your air Mercury ruled ascendant. You're getting a lot of air, a lot of swords today. And I love this. So this is the Four of Swords, which traditionally is the knight, you know, kind of lying back in a very, very deep sleep. Very much needed mental rest. The fours are structure, the fours are sound, the fours are sort of a break from the three. We had the three, so you're going straight from the Three of Swords, the heartbreak, the disappointment, right? The stings, the betrayals, into this rest, this intense meditational, deep sleep, this mental rest. The brain needs to be on ice for a bit, right? The four corners, the four elements, the four directions, right? The four wolves surrounding the traveler here as he's resting. They are protecting him in all four corners. He's walled in by primal instinct and protection and the pack, the family. He's protected, he can rest, he can lay down his travels, his worries, his sack, you know, his hobo sack full of stuff. He can lay that down and he can actually lay down and rest. To repair the heart, to repair the mind, to become strong, to become the warrioress again. Athena, Lady Justice, whatever it may be, right? To command your own life. mental clarity, judgment, discernment, power. You know, with those 4 wolves looking on, he has nothing to fear. He is just going to lie back a moment and let his mind rest. It may also be solitude and introspection, of course, right? To get to that Queen of Swords, that wheel of fortune, to move to the next level, you might be sort of introspective, you know, spiritually rest, mentally rest, withdraw a bit, heal. This heart here needs to rise from, like a phoenix from the ashes. This heart needs to heal. But that strong trinity within, of course it's going to heal, right? It just needs time. So the period of rest or inaction, a short one, not a long one. You know, time for withdrawal, time to spiritually awake, that heart on fire back here. And also the wheel of fortune to move to the next level, to break through this 5 of cups that you're feeling in the here and now. You know, recovery, coming back from the brink of a spiritual, physical, emotional death. 3 into the 4. 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords. Progressing to rest, to healing, to spiritual recovery. Closure. You know, spending time withdrawing, mending, healing, and then bouncing back anew. We have that wheel of fortune. I love that for you, considering everything going on. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so let's pick some oracle cards. Oh, actually, you know, I was going to do some clarifications on these. I don't think they need to be clarified. I think they're pretty darn straightforward and quite poignant, brilliant, and beautiful regarding your situation. So I'm not going to clarify these. I'm just going to go with the oracles now. I love that. Love, love, love. Especially since we have these 2 cards here, these additional cards that started us out. This reading is really, really hitting home for me. I hope it is for you. Let's do a soul oracle card. Let's see, this light here is just a little, let me see if I can fix it. There we go. Okay, soul oracle. Bee balm. Sorry, I'm still playing with the light. Okay, look at that. Pollinator. We love that. Spring, right? Summer. So I'm just going to read right from the card. It's so beautiful. Vibrance. Add some spark to your life. Bee balm encourages you to let go of your inhibitions. Cut loose. Queen of Swords, right? Now she may be a thinker, she may be reserved, but she doesn't falter. She's trained her weapon of truth, right? She's used it over and over again. She's getting to know how she is as a warrior-ess, what she can cut out, what she can slice through, right? What she can let fall away. Let go of some of your inhibitions, cut loose, be passionate, and sing your song at the top of your lungs without judgment. Now again, she is Lady Justice. She does wield judgment, but do not overthink with that Mercury ruled ascendant, that Mercury ruled sun. You have double Mercury. Do not overthink. Do not make yourself miserable. Do not fall into that negative thought pattern of swords, you know, holding you back. Sing from the top of your lungs without judgment. Every day is a gift worth celebrating. Bee balm reminds you to show up, embrace the potential of your own life, no excuses. So when you come out the other side of this 4 of Swords, this mental rest, this withdrawal, this spiritual reset and renewal, when you come out of that, you will be a heart on fire because of the slings and arrows you have suffered, because of the emotional, grief and sorrow and reflection you have been through lately, this Five of Cups. You know, that Trinity is strong. This is such a beautiful Three of Swords. I love it. So there will be this vibrance. There will be this joyousness of singing at the top of your lungs, not worrying about what anybody thinks anymore. And there's your colors, right? That vibrant hot pink, the pink fairy. So that's beautiful. Let's do a new moon card. Look at that. Step out of your comfort zone. I love it. I love it. Because, you know, I have a Gemini rising. I have planets in Gemini. And we overthink. We do. We kind of self-sabotage with that swords, mercurial ruled sun sign. Or it for me, rising. North Node, step out of your comfort zone, right? Vibrancy. Sing at the top of your lungs. Let go of your inhibitions. Cut loose. Be passionate. Be bomb. Be rich and vibrant. Be hot pink again. Right? And that's beautiful because you're going to come out, as we said, through the other side. But there will be some things you got to make happen. There's some, you know, some rules you got to set. Some laws you got to put down. Some lines in the sand you got to draw regarding your health, your wellness, mental, spiritual, physical. You know, take no prisoners, Queen of Swords. And step out of your comfort zone. As a Libra moon, you're not totally comfortable with wielding that sword yet. You want to be the peacemaker, the people pleaser, right? But it is time. I mean, this heart that's been abused, this heart that's seen so much emotional turmoil, this heart has a trinity, this Celtic knot of strength, this fire within and underneath. And to step out of your comfort zone and to begin that passionate healing, especially in Aries season. I know it's going to be probably months for you before you feel physically better enough to bust out vibrant like this. Again, you have to heed that Four of Swords, that mental rest, that recuperation and spiritual reset of everything, mind, body, soul. But after that, your heart will be on fire. And if you step out of that comfort zone, that wheel of fortune will turn. That honey that is spilt at the Three of Cups will be reciprocated. But do it for yourself, right? That vibrancy of singing at the top of your lungs, of enjoying yourself once you feel healthy again, once you're back in the saddle again. There are going to be some things you have to do that are not going to be comfortable. You know, that could be walking with a cane, but that can't stop you from enjoying yourself or singing at the top of your lungs. Could be different friendships, starting over. Could be out of your comfort zone, setting your boundaries, clear, precise, don't F with me boundaries. So yeah, love that. Step out of your comfort zone, and that will be coming up for you. North Node is in the future, so that's in the future. Let's do a Raven's Wand. We've done these many times before. These are so wonderful. Love the Raven's Wand. Okay. Oh, look at that. Needs before wants. And that's quite beautiful because as someone who is healing, you have to succumb to what your body, your mind, your soul needs right now. Damn the torpedoes, who cares what anybody says? Queen of Swords. Right? This is a protected space to recoup, to relax, to renew, to just heal. Needs before wants. Here she has a badger in her lap. Here's a fox peeking over, a heron, a bunny, a crow, or a magpie. She has a snake under her hat. She has set her hat down. And she has her athame and her tools, but here she has potions, medicines, little cotton balls. This is medicine here. So this animal was most likely wounded, and she's administering her tinctures, her potions. Probably a sick animal that she's nursing back to health. So she may want to cuddle, to play, to make this animal her pet, to connect, blah, 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 but she has to wait for that, right? What she has to do first is attend to his needs before her needs. And his needs are probably he has a hurt paw or he's sick, he needs the medicine that she brought here. So needs before wants. You have to take care of those things most pressing, your physical health right now, right? And then everything else in due time. I just love this card. It's so beautiful. There's this quiet inner peace going on here, right? She also knows that every single one of these animals has a different need, right? No matter what she wants to do, each animal has its own way of being, of needing to be administered to, of healing. They have different needs that need to be met, right? And we need to be mindful of those profound differences between wants and needs, right? Shelter, food, safety, health. Those are needs. So we have to focus on those first, and all the other things, all the other trials and tribulations of the hearts, the disappointments, the Five of Cups, the Three of Swords, the betrayals, these things. Actually, we need to take care of our needs, right? And our needs are immediate: food, shelter, safety, health, clothing. We do that first, and these other things, they do fall into place eventually. We do get to them. We do handle them with truth. Queen of Swords. But these two, I mean, this is someone who needs that withdrawal and that safety of being able to rest and recoup. Right? If your needs are met, you are grateful, then you come back full force with a fire lit under your heart, in your heart, a fire in your heart. You clear the way. You might not want to do it, but you need to do it. So, I love that. Needs before wants. And she earns their trust that way, right? She's tending to their needs. Okay, now we're going to do an Into the Lonely Woods oracle. These are more solitude-driven, sort of introspective oracle cards. I love these, absolutely love these. The artwork is phenomenal. Okay, one for you. Oh, would you look at that? And again, here, let me get this light going. Again, we have a fox and a young woman. What looks like maybe a hummingbird or a dove. Two foxes. I love the art. It reminds me of Where the Wild Things Are. Hope you could see that. It's gorgeous. The sadness of letting go. The sadness of letting go. Step out of your comfort zone. You do not owe anybody anything. Past relationships do not have to be mended, be resolved, be carried on if they no longer work. Step out of your comfort zone. Needs before wants. Your needs. Your rest, your recuperation, your mental health, your physical health. The Four of Swords. This Queen of Swords behind it all, this is unconscious. This wants you to be aware of it. She does not mourn what she lets go of. Again, Excalibur, Athena, Lady Justice, she cuts it away. She has to remove her emotional self from it all so she can make change in her life, so she can wheel of fortune, get to the next level, get to the highs again, way out of the lows. And there is sadness, of course. There's a poignance and a bittersweetness to all realms of the heart. And, it's just the hardest thing we ever have to do is learn to let go, isn't it? And sometimes when we feel alone, we have trouble letting go, right? We cling to the things that we know. you know. But we will meet others, people that are like us, that understand us, whose presence can help, new possibilities enter our lives to show us a different picture, right? Who we could be, how we could be better, you know. I think now you will be freeing yourself from old bonds, beliefs, ways that maybe you had wanted to keep previously but can no longer afford to. Whether or not you feel it's meant for you, the soul may say it's right for you to let go, right? There's always a sadness in moving on and beginning again. It's a void, it's a loss. We recognize things, we have familiarity and trust we thought was trust, right? But sometimes these things we cannot carry into the future with us because they betrayed our trust, right? They don't work in the new world that we are creating, this new world of strength and decisiveness, confidence, discernment, ability. This is a badass here, This is stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe getting to that point. And every time we release, there's going to be mourning, but we need to trust ourselves, right? We are capable. Kindness and care is out there. Our honey can be reciprocated, not spilled upon the cups, spilled upon the ground. Others can fill our cups. We can meet those who actually enrich our lives, right? Encourage us to be ourselves. It'll reveal parts of you didn't even know existed when you learn to let go. And there's always going to be sadness. So this is a very truthful card, but it's a much needed energy or exercise for all of us in our lives, especially right now. We're all letting go of the old outmoded ways of thinking that we used to take as gospel. It's a whole new world, right? Age of Aquarius. So that's beautiful. Let's go ahead and do our final card for this reading today. We're going to do a goddess card because that's always wonderful to see which deity, which goddess will come out for us in times of need. I know that you work with some of your own, so this will be wonderful to see who kind of wants to speak to you regarding all of this. Oops. Right, we had two just fly out. You saw that, right? Artemis, guardian, moon goddess. We have the moon back here. How wonderful. It's beautiful. You and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. You are safe to heal, to reset, to withdraw, to reevaluate, to decide what you want to keep and let go of. You're safe to do some self-healing work, right? It's going to be needed in the days ahead. Your loved ones are safe, spiritually protected. Your son will be all right. Your husband, your daughter, the ones close to you, the ones you're truly connected with. This is the guardian goddess, Artemis, right? And with that moon, some different aspects may crop up, things you didn't know, things that are hidden and unseen, but you will work through them. And then we have Ma'at was the other one. Beautiful, the Egyptian goddess of justice. Again, I said Lady Justice Athena, Queen of Swords, enacting justice upon her life. The situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Your Libra moon loves that. Needs before wants. Take care of business within the family. These are your pack, your wolves here. Everything's safe. The four corners. You can relax for a bit. You can heal. You can get your strength back. And surmount these issues, these betrayals, these heartaches with a burning fire within. This may be happening now, that Five of Cups, but it's going away. And this is beautiful. All these goddesses coming out to protect and to evaluate and to enact fair, just cause upon your world. Figure out what you want, figure out what you need. Balanced behavior, rest. I love Artemis and Ma'at. Look into both of these goddesses in your prayers, maybe, in your candle work and in your ritual. I think they bring a very beautiful energy to the table. Another thing about Artemis is, she is the protector of the wild things in the forest, the goddess of the hunt, again, Virgo, autonomous. If any man gazes upon her, she takes upon out her wrath upon it, right? She is a self-made goddess, and she's strong there with her bow and arrow. She preferred the woods and the wild animals. She was sort of a tomboy, goddess of the hunt, right? She had her bow and arrow, her talismans, her manifestations. She's focusing your will. She's a protector of children, women and children, a lot like Freya. That your future will be safe and secure, right? When your needs are met with the mental health and the rest and all the things that you're learning through all these energies coming and going. The worst is probably the worst is now behind you, right? Going forward, your needs are being met. They always will be. You're going to be protected by family, the pack, right? And that's gorgeous. And then after Artemis, we have Ma'at, right? So if Ma'at is fairness and justice, and this is protected space guardian here, it may be that all the parties involved in what's going on right now for you, when people start to surrender their personal agenda and their ego and decide to work for the greater good, right, for the entirety of the pack, of the group, then maybe things can be salvaged as a whole. When the matters, the disputes, the attacks are fear-based, people don't really communicate well. So if you surrender attachment to specific outcomes, you work through things, needs are met first, directing your will and protection towards a firm vision of peaceful outcome, right? Justice, fairness, balance, then things will fall into place in a harmonious manner, more often than not, right? And with these two in attendance, perhaps some of these matters of the heart, this drama, this betrayal, this hurt, right, the mental heartbreak of it all, perhaps these disputes will be resolved or end harmoniously. If you take a stand for truth back here, Queen of Swords, justice, fairness, perhaps some of these matters of the heart, the sadness of letting go, right, maybe amicably, maybe people agree mutually, okay, we're going to move on, or things are different now, let's do it this way. Whatever that may be, there might be negotiations, right? Harmonious outcomes. Instead of, keep this punishing of the heart, or this grief, or this sorrow, or this reflection of depression, or melancholy here. Perhaps in the end, things are going to be more harmonious, right? People are going to move on, or they're going to reevaluate what it is they want out of relationships or life. They're going to release guilt and shame, treat each other fairly, right? Needs before wants back there. Let's all get together and do what we need to do to survive. Ma'at is integrity. She's fairness. She's justice, right? She relieves us from the heaviness of guilt. She protects business relationships, personal relationships. So we have to act fairly, honorably with each other. We have to really search for truth, and in a compassionate and even-minded way. So I hope that this reading helped out a bit. I certainly learned from it and felt like it was absolutely beautiful. Really resonated with me as well for you. If you have any questions, please let me know, and speedy recovery, many blessings of health to you, your mind, body, and spirit, and I hope to hear from you soon. Good luck with everything. Thanks so much.